Hello and welcome YouTube. I am recording another video because I finally have a little bit of time, and today we are playing Wayward Swordtooth in our Springheart Nantuko deck. For those of you who are not aware how this works, Swordtooth is a 3-mana creature that says that you may play an additional land on each of your turns. And of course that obviously pairs very well with Springheart Nantuko, which says that whenever a land comes into play you can pay 2 mana and make a copy of whatever Springheart Nantuko is enchanting. So for example, if you enchant a Wayward Swordtooth, you play a bounce land and pay the 2 mana to make a copy of the Swordtooth, then you get to put the bounce land back in your hand, and your copy of Wayward Swordtooth lets you play an additional land. So you get to make infinite Wayward Swordtooths that way. It works the same way with Dryad, and it also happens to work the same way with Arboreal Grazer, but obviously Grazer is not going to give you as much of a benefit. Infinite Grazers doesn't necessarily win the game, whereas Swordtooths and Dryads do. And then outside of that, Swordtooth is just a 3-drop that we can play on turn 2, presumably after we play a turn 1 Grazer or a turn 1 Greensun Zenith for Dryad Arbor, and just be able to continue to ramp. It's between Swordtooth and Azusa and Spelunking, and honestly, in traditional builds of the deck that aren't playing Aftermath Analyst, which I hate the card, it's kind of a toss-up as to like whether any of those are particularly good. Like Azusa's good because it lets you play 2 additional lands, and it's a 1/2, so it can kind of like block and trade with some small things if that matters, but usually it doesn't. And Spelunking in traditional shells just tends to be a lot worse than it does in analyst shells, because a lot of times in traditional shells, because you're playing Mycosynth in addition to Urza Saga, up to 3 or 4 copies, I would be playing 4th if I could. You oftentimes have double amulet draws, where you have like a turn 1 amulet and you pop off a Saga, or you copy the amulet with Mycosynth Gardens, and then Spelunking is turning off your double amulets. And otherwise it just is kind of anemic. It draws a card, I guess, but it kind of just sits there and doesn't really do anything, so it's better a sideboard card in a more traditional build. So I figured, why not? We'll play a couple Swordtooths, and they'll be horrible if they're not comboing, and really cool if we can put a Nantuko on Swordtooth. And that's regardless of whether we're actually comboing with the Nantuko or not, because being able to just make a couple copies of Wayward Swordtooth and get the additional land drops easily lets us get the City's Blessing to attack and block with them, so it becomes a 3-drop with very relevant text, as opposed to just another 3-drop like Spelunking that kind of just sits there and doesn't do much. So, whatever. Not the greatest card, but I figured I'd give it a shot. But otherwise, we've got some pretty interesting things going on. So recently, Underworld Breach was banned, and that means that the Mox Opal busted, just replaying everything from your graveyard with Underworld Breach, obviously, isn't happening. And otherwise, we're pretty good traditionally against Mox Opal decks. So I'm just choosing to play the 3rd Force of Vigor and not play any copies of Collector Oof, because I don't think that we will likely need it anymore. And I'm also choosing to play a couple Oblivion Stones over Dismembers and like Pyroclasm type effects, because Oblivion Stone can kill the Blue Magus, as well as be a sweeper against Boros, which is kind of the top deck in the format right now, I'd imagine. We've also got the 4th Greensun Zenith and a couple of extra targets in the sideboard, including an Elvish Reclaimer, and a Hex Drinker, and a Tireless Tracker. These are just ways to turn our Greensun Zeniths into better cards against the control decks out there, as well as having Vexing Bauble and Defense Grids to turn off their like subtleties and forces and that sort of thing. So that's what we're doing today. It's a very atypical list, but of course, I'm the one that put it together. So what else would you expect? And with that, let's jump straight into the first match. By the way, I've got a ton of codes to give away that are good for a little more than a free league on Magic Online. So if you want to pick up a cheap, $50 to $100 version of the deck and just be able to play a free league, then leave your Twitter handle in the comments below, as well as what it is that you plan on doing with those play points if you were to receive a code, and I'll shoot you a message. Make sure that your messages are enabled though, because I've had that happen in the past where people posted and they got chosen for a code and they couldn't receive it. So anyways, all right, we're on the play against Magic Devil 666. Imagine we might see some salt in the chat here. And we have the Dryad Arbor in our hand, of course. We can go turn 1 Arbor, and assuming he doesn't get killed, go turn 2 Grazer into turn 3, one of our 3-drops. Zenith for Nantuko doesn't let us combo, obviously. And it also can't get us a land, but it can get us a Titan, but then we need to get up to like 7 mana for that. I feel like we can do better on a 6, so we will mulligan. And this hand is not much better either. Yeah, not doing anything until turn 3. I mean, we're on the play, so maybe it could work, but I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, this is much better. We'll keep that. So, I guess we want to bottom the Forest and Dryad, perhaps? We can go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 second Amulet, bounce land. Any ramp spell lets us get it to a turn 2 Titan here. Not any ramp spell. It'd have to be a Grazer specifically. Or Pact. Or Green Sun Zenith actually would do it too. I think we're keeping this. Alright, we go Vestige. Make a mana. We'll play our Amulet here and pass it back to our opponent. See if we can turn 2 somebody. Alright, we got Urza's Mine. Alright, so no turn 2s here. So we'll play an Amulet and play our freshly drawn Saga. That's a pretty good draw, but we're just tightening next turn, so. Alright. Oh no! We drew the freaking Hanweir for real? Okay. Well, I believe we have a way to get out of this. So let me demonstrate it. So we go Rot Farm. This lets us attack with. Oh wait, they have. I just realized they have blue mana up. This is not the. This is not the Tron deck that I assumed that we were playing against. I'm still slamming Titan, but we might get remanded or something. I guess we don't have to play Titan here, but because we can just make Saga tokens. Interesting. Well, if that's the case, I should have just played the Hanweir instead of the Rot Farm. I didn't notice that our opponent played the blue source. There's really no reason to go crazy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can still cast Titan off of Vestige at that point in turn, so yeah, consign for the Titan trigger as well is a good point. Well, then again, they might just consign our Saga trigger, so whatever. I'm gonna make a Saga token, I think. No reason to play into this, and I guess we can just hold up our Saga until their turn, so that they can't just like end of turn dismember us or something. Alright, they have the second Tron land. Fascinating. I guess if we draw bounce land, we could play Titan and activate our Saga for another construct here if we wanted to. Maybe they want to consign this Saga trigger. Could be possible. We got a 3/3. Not bad. Tolaria West is not a bad pickup. Again, I'm just going to take it slow here. So we'll just activate Saga, get a map probably. Present a couple threats. I think a map is a good option. Play Hanweir out. Swing 5. We've got the clock. Seems like they do have to do something about this. Take command to exile a token. Okay. And scry one. They put one on top and drew that with the Kozilek command. Tron has been established. Let's see where this goes from here. We got big things happening. Kozilek's command to make 5 tokens. Oh, I think I know what this deck is. This is probably the mono blue taking turns deck that Aspiring Spike put together. Well, they don't have a second blue here, so I'm not necessarily super concerned. I mean, I suppose it could still just be like a traditional blue Tron deck, but I'm assuming it's more likely to be the Spike deck. Alright, so 5 mana, 6 mana. Portent of Calamity. I see it here, but I don't see it on the stack yet. I don't know what this card does. Reveal the top X cards of your library. For each card type, you may exile a card of that type from among them, put the rest in your graveyard. Cast a spell from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. Okay. And they casted an Emrakul the Promising. Fascinating. We may be able to beat this still. We have the T-West in hand. We might be able to make Infinite Titans here or something like that. With the Nantuko. I guess they can crack map for nothing, attack with a construct, and block, and then pass back to us, and just hope that that is good enough. I don't know for sure that it is or isn't. They're playing the Vestige out. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Denies us some mana. Oh, we can't even get to Titan with a Tolaria West because we wouldn't have the second green source, so that is pretty smart. Well, we'll see what we draw. Weirdly enough, we may be able to beat an Emrakul the Promising here, so. Tapping all the mana. I don't think there's anything they can map for that would be, like, bad for us. It would be funny if they mapped for Boseiju, thinking they could Boseiju one of our own lands, and then ended up just giving us a Boseiju. Like, cast the Sword Tooth, really? Okay. Very interesting. They definitely should not be casting that. Not that they know that, necessarily. Okay, so any green source lets us play Titan. Titan getting double bounce land maybe lets us transmute for Nantuko and go infinite on Wayward. Or on Titan, potentially. I'd have to do the math on that. So it would be 8 mana. I'm assuming we draw like... Oh, what? They gave us a bounce land? What? Okay. Very fascinating. So now we can just make infinite Wayward Swordtooth, so that's cool, I suppose. Or probably infinite Titans also. They're transmuting T-West for nothing, I suppose. Huh. Oh, they're gonna make us die to the Pact. Okay. Alright, so they're gonna cast Summoner's Pact, and then we die to Pact on our upkeep here, so... Yep. That is it. That was a really cool line, actually. Okay. Alright, so against them, I'm assuming we want things that interrupt their potential counter magic, but I don't know that they really will have much of that, to be honest. And Swordtooth really isn't bad against them, because going infinite with Nantuko is a way to potentially win quickly. Colossus doesn't seem like it matters much. Xanth for Reclaimer could be good in this matchup. Trim a couple Grazers. Actually, let's trim a bunch of Grazers. Maybe just call it a day. Do you want the 4th Zenith? Maybe. I gotta do this for the YouTube folks. We might actually want the 4th Zenith. I guess we could trim one of the Waywards because they don't do too much on their own. It's good to have a 3-drop to play on turn 2 though. Trim a Pact, I guess, since they're bad against Emrakuls and such. Alright, so we're going to be cutting these 5 and bringing in these 5 for the YouTube folks. Alright, we'll be on the play. We've got a turn 1 Amulet. 3 Dryads. That's a lot of Dryads. And no bounce land either. It might be kind of crazy to mulligan this, but... it probably is kind of crazy to mulligan this, so I guess we'll keep it. We can go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Dryad. And we will do that. See if they have a force for our Amulet. Oh, they do have a force. I didn't actually expect them to be honest. Getting rid of a Dress Down, that's a good one for them to have to exile. Zenith. Alright, well I guess we're Zenithing for let me make sure I brought it in, for Elvish Reclaimer? Did I bring in the Reclaimer? That's the question. I think I did. I'm not seeing it here. So I guess we can Zenith for Reclaimer, and I think that's going to be a good line. So we can start getting Saga things going. Alright, Elvish Reclaimer on the field. Here we go. Lorien. Okay, we'll put a stop on our draw step because we're going to need to consider whether we want to get a Saga or not. Because if we do it in draw step, then we go to main and it'll immediately tick up to 2. We have the bounce lane too. Maybe we do want to go for a Saga immediately. I guess we don't, because we were going to want to make tokens out of this. We don't have a threat to play just yet, so we'll make another force here in case they have the Magus. Not attacking. And I guess we are going to sack the Crumbling Vestige at this point. And get a Saga. This will set us up with our Amulet. The Reclaimer seems cool. We have an Amulet anyways. That's also cool. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're not getting a second Saga. So we can go Amulet Dryad, Bounce Land Dryad, and if it resolves, then we can still activate Saga. But I guess there's no real reason to do that. Here, let's play the Amulet and see what happens. So we can always Reclaimer for a second thing if the Amulet does not resolve. They do force it, okay. Well, let's play this, and I guess pick up the Basuva. I mean, we could cycle the Saga, but that doesn't really make much sense because we want the Amulet out of it, so. And then we're also insulated against Spreading Seas if they have something like that, because we can just cycle the Saga away in response. Not that most decks are playing Spreading Seas right now, I don't think, but they have a map, okay. No second Tron land is fantastic for us. The question is, do we just go ahead and get another Saga into play and sack the forest? I think it's okay, to be honest. I guess we could get a Mycosynth Gardens, but let's go with Saga. Vexing Shusher. I think I know what that card does. Is that the one that stops them from being able to counter your stuff? Alright, let's just, I guess, go ahead and draw here. Well, not draw, go to main phase. And then guess we'll sack the Saga to the Reclaimer. Vexing Shusher is a good idea. I haven't seen anybody play that card, but I can definitely understand the reasoning for it. Alright, before this resolves, we need to go ahead and do this. So let's pay a blue and a 1 and get rid of this Saga that's already about to die anyways. I'm not even sure exactly what we want here. Another Saga is actually not crazy. That would be all of the Sagas, though. We probably don't need that. We have 3 Dryads, so maybe we want to go for a Valakut? Well, Mycosynth also makes some sense. Let's go with a Mycosynth, I guess. That way we are free to get Map at some point, if we want to. And we'll go get an Amulet here. We only have 1 Amulet left in the deck, too. Okay, so now we can go Bounce Land Dryad, and if it resolves, then we can play Bounce Land again and activate. If it doesn't resolve, then I guess we'll just be sad. We could also just play Saga and make a token. I think Saga make a token is going to be better than trying to commit a Dryad and let them just counterspell it. Alright, here we go. We also have a slight board presence here now. Brain Surge. Interesting. So they're gonna potentially put one of those extra turn cards on top. I'm very blessed to have the Michael Jackson in the comment section here. The live YouTube chat. We do need to actually try to kill our opponent here soon. We might need to, like, play Vesuva as a Simic Growth Chamber and then respond to the bounce trigger by Reclaimering for T-West to then pick up the T-West to the bounce to be able to get a Titan. If we can manage to do all that. Which, with the Mycosynth Gardens here, we probably can. Because we'll be making a unbelievable amount of mana. Yep, using Reclaimer to stay on land parity here. They're going mapping. Well, it's nice that they had to do this, and they also didn't have the extra turn card. They're 1 Tron land away from, well, having Tron. Probably don't want to let them have Tron. Oh, we just drew the Titan. Okay, that's great. Interesting. Well. Alright. Well, we're gonna need to float with the Saga, that's for sure. I'm assuming they have a Counterspell or a Consign or something. I don't know if there's a way for us to actually play around it. And I don't think that we want to Reclaimer the Saga away. I think we're going to use the Reclaimer ability for something else. So let's just let this go. Get our Amulet here. So we copy... We can play multiple Dryads and have lots of mana. We might even be able to, like, play enough Dryads that we could play a Titan, and if it doesn't resolve, then still T-West for another Titan and go for that. I think that's correct. Let's go ahead and try to copy an Amulet here and see what happens. Okay, so let's play a Vesuva and copy a Growth Chamber. Now our Elvish Reclaimer that has set up like 3 copies of Amulet of Vigor is now also going to double as the Talari West, by the way. I don't mind that at all. Let's see if they want to do something about our Dryad here. I have at one point played as many as 4 Springheart Nantukos in the deck, and I didn't think it was awful, to be honest. Alright, well, as long as this is going to keep working, then I guess we're just going to keep doing this. Let's play more Dryads. Just infinite mana here. Don't worry about it. And in response to this bounce trigger, we are going to probably go ahead and transmute for Talari West, I'm presuming. Or not transmute, but Reclaimer for Talari West. After we play our last Dryad, though. I'm assuming this has got to be enough mana to do that. Yeah, we have way more than enough mana to do that, so... Alright. Reclaimer definitely stealing this game for sure, assuming that we're winning this game, which I don't know for sure is the case. Alright, so let's Reclaimer here with the black and a green. Sack this Saga and get our T-West. Oh, that's right, we're actually producing mana with our Reclaimer activation here too, so that's cool, I suppose. Pick up the T-West. And then, I guess before we do anything, let's just cast our Titan. Just see if our opponent has anything they want to do about it. Reclaimer setting up our extra threat here is pretty nice. Strix Serenade. Okay. Well, we have a bird. I guess we need to transmute and go for it again. Get the Pact. I do recommend playing one Reclaimer. I think it's likely good with Green Sun Zenith. See if they have a response to our Summoner's Pact here. Alright, so far so good. We'll get a Titan. And attempt to resolve that one. Is the second Titan good enough? Is there a second Strix Serenade coming? Here's something even cooler. So if this doesn't, like if they remand this Titan, for example, and then we go to our next upkeep, in response to the pack trigger, we can Reclaimer for another bounce land. Oh, Subtlety, okay. We can Reclaimer for a bounce land so that we have a bounce land to play and can still pay the pact. So that'll be very cool. Although it'll shuffle away our Titan, unfortunately. Which we are still putting on top, I guess. Alright, swing. See if our opponent has Tron yet. They have 2 cards left. What did they exile to the Subtlety? A Tidebinder, okay. Brain Surge, sure. We also just have like a giant board in play. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have lethal in play without having to cast anything, so there's that. Do we need the Reclaimer for lethal? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'd be 1 point short. I feel like we're going to want to have the bounce land in hand, though. I mean, nah, they're just dead on board. Let's just pay the pact. Let's just pay the pact. And just attack them for lethal. Yes. We would have drawn... Oh, that's right. We put the Titan on top. Well, let's just try to kill our opponent then, I suppose. Attack with all creatures. Hey! We got there. Okay. Alright. That went pretty well. Reclaimer absolutely stole that, by the way. Reclaimer did so much freaking work. That was insane. Tracker could be good against them too, to be honest. I'm sure that Reclaimer's all we need though. Definitely defense grids are looking good, and the Vexing Bauble with all their forces and free spells looks good too. So I guess we're trimming the Sword Tooth and going with Tracker, Vexing. Yeah, Reclaimer did so much freaking work. That was crazy. Alright, let's go like this. And this lets us have all 4 Green Sun Zenith post-board against the control decks because we have a really impactful 1-drop. Other than Hex Drinker. We have 2 impactful 1-drops that we can get with Zenith to make it a 2-mana threat, so... We're on the draw now, which is kind of sad. Well, we got the Bauble to stop our opponent from just like taking us out of the game with free spells. We don't have an amulet just yet. There's nothing objectively wrong with this hand. And if we draw a single amulet, then Mycosynth will let us go absolutely bonkers. I guess we're supposed to keep it. It's not the most exciting hand, but it's got all the setup that we need and insurance against things that we don't like. Alright. Still have the draw step stock, which I will fix after I take my turn. Let's get this bauble down. Oof. Foiled out amulet. Oh, geez. Well, what you should do is you should take a picture of the deck and you should send it to me on Twitter, @RedFaceMenace. That's what you should do. Hey, we found the amulet. That was fast. And they can't force it right now because they can't do that. Alright, let's go, I guess, Mycosynth. Map, see if they want to, I don't know, whatever they have, like, Nullify. What is the 1 mana counter target colorless spell? You should. I'd love to see it. See if they have Consign to Memory. They do. Okay. That's fine. It's not a big deal. We'll still just jam a Dryad. Oh, they have Tron coming up. That's not great. Well, here's a Vestige. Make a green. What about Void Mirror? Oh, Dryad resolves. That's good. Let's play the Gruul Turf, I suppose. We can go Vestige into Vesuva Copy Vestige and just cast a Titan. Get some Valakut's. Do it the old-fashioned way. They're getting Tron, though, which is scary. Very scary. I guess Vex and Bauble does counter our own Summoner's Pact, now I think about it. We can always just crack the Bauble before we cast the Pact, though, if we had to, so... Speak of the devil. We don't really have the mana for that just yet. They play Tower and Pass, so... Probably holding up K-Command, if I had to assume. Could be mapping for Saga here. You know, Saga, Vesuva Copy Saga. And then crack Bauble on Instep or something. That Dissynergy with Pact is a little annoying. No, I was talking about a 1 blue spell that counters colorless spells. And it was Consign. This is the one I was trying to think of. I mean, we could just map for Valakut. That's not, like, too crazy, is it? Map for Valakut, Bauble, draw a card, and then next turn just cast a Titan. Because they have to deal with the Dryad. But they have a K-Command, presumably. So, we probably need to map for Saga here, I would assume. I guess we can copy our map with a Mycosynth before we do anything. I don't know that we want to go down a land, though. Let's just map for Saga, I think. So, Urza Saga, which we'll play. And then we can Vesuva Saga if we want to. I think that we do. And we will attack them. I have 5 cards in hand, which is quite terrifying, to be honest. I mean, it's debatable whether we want to crack this Bauble or not, because if we were to draw a Titan, right now the Bauble is stopping them from being able to interact with it with Subtlety, for example, at all. Like, if they play another blue source and they can just hard cast Subtlety, then it's obviously easy to crack Bauble. But if they don't, I mean, we can just sit behind these, this Bauble and these Sagas and go from there. It's very possible to do that. Because they're gonna die to the Saga tokens at some point. I think we're gonna want all of our mana though, so let's just Bauble now. Oh wait, it only costs 1 to crack? I thought it was 2. Interesting. Alright. Tireless Tracker is a fantastic pickup. go tracker, play land. So we have 1, 2, 3. We'd be one short of activating both sagas. We could go tracker and activate one saga, potentially. We can also play bounce land to pick up a saga, too. Interesting. So let's pick up one of the sagas, I think. I guess we don't have to do that, but... if they're just hard casting a subtlety, I don't know how I feel about playing this tracker, though. It's probably fine, I guess. Nah, let's not play anything into their mana, to be honest. We probably do need to play out the lands, though. We can activate the... I guess we can activate Saga, play bounce land, pick up the Vesuva, and then recopy Saga. And still be able to activate both. That seems like a good plan. Well, fetch lands are easy. Just cut a basic forest and play a fetch land instead. You only need one for the Nantuko combo. And if you play an Echoing Deeps in your deck, then you can even copy it from the graveyard if you've already used the fetch land, so... Alright. Oh, they're just hard casting Lorien. I thought they were casting a Time Warp here or something. Still have blue up. Alright, let's go to their instep and make our second Saga construct here. And we have 2 Mycosynths, so we can turn these amulets into lots of mana really fast. And we can Boseiju one of their Tron lands too, which is fantastic. Oh wait, hold on. Only one of these sagas is actually going to be non-existent here, so... let's just go ahead and make another thing. I guess they can consign something here if they really want to. Yeah, they do consign. They're still putting up a couple colorless, which is interesting. Just consign everything, okay. Well, now we get to resolve our tracker, which is nice. And we can make clues with the tracker to buff our constructs. We might have lethal here, potentially. And we are still doing something. I guess making a construct. Okay. Very interesting. Here's a tracker. And we go fetch, make a clue, grow all of our constructs. Vestige, make a clue, grow all of our constructs. This is stupid. This is really dumb. And we fetch here to make another clue. 12, 14. I think we're going to be one short, perhaps. 12, 14. Oh, we can make another construct here, actually, too, so... oh, wait, we can't. It's because it doesn't have any abilities. Well... I guess we still Boseiju their tower? And then on their instep, we can clue for a draw. You know, casually put them to 2. Who needs Titan anyways? Who needs Primeval Titan? We don't. Okay, they're taking an extra turn. Nice. I guess the way we lose here is by them casting Emrakul. We just have to hope they don't cast Emrakul. Saga Beats getting there. Ah, dress down. Rude. Let's crack a clue, I guess, before this dress down resolves, so our tireless tracker gets the counter. They still have to deal with both of our threats. And then we have a Titan coming down as well, by the way. Oh, they should have done this dress down on instep, actually, now I think about it. Unless they're taking another turn here. These Mycosynths are putting in some work too, getting us up to as many copies of amulets as we want. 1 amulet equals 3 amulets. Don't you know the basic math? Alright, opponent, what's the plan? What are we doing? Imagine Spelunking attacking for lethal. I didn't think so. Did not think so. Oh, subtlety to block. Nice, very nice. All right. I'm gonna assume that we need the mana and just do this. Get an omelette, and then we'll copy the amulet. So do we have enough mana for that? I think we do. All right. And let's Summoner's Pact now. They have 2 cards. Let's see what they could be. They probably have another subtlety if I had to guess. I guess we don't have infinite with Nantuko. Although making a copy of Tireless Tracker is pretty freaking sick, to be honest. Let's just get Titan. Force them to have it. Play Titan. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. Oh, they have a Consign. A Tidebinder. Interesting. Well, we still have a 6/6. And we can play Greensun Zenith for Reclaimer, so we can Reclaimer and a Valakut for lethal, so that's nice. I should have made Infinite Dryads. Well, I figured something like this might happen, so... Let's Zenith for 1, get this Reclaimer, so we can set up Valakut shenanigans. Ding. It's a 3/2, so they can double block. They say GG. Have Emrakul? Do they have the mana to cast Emrakul if they have Emrakul? Oh, they do! That's unfortunate. I guess we're not paying the pact, everybody. Very fitting way to lose the game, I suppose. I'll let them show us. Alright. Classic stuff. Well, let's go to the next one. I don't think it was wrong to play the pack there. I did say it before that the only way we were gonna lose that game was if they cast Emrakul the Promise in, so so rude. Just the rudest. Alright, this is a fantastic hand that we will definitely keep. That was a really fun match though. Oh, we got Barbarian Ring. And whatever this is. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so we're probably playing against a deck that plays Hollow One, I would assume. Let's get this amulet out and one of our most unique lands in play. Assuming that we're about to end up shuffling our hand away with whatever the 1-drop is that makes us each draw 3, discard 3 at random. Mycosynth Gardens? What is going on? Cookbook. Okay. Oval Chase. Yeah, this all makes sense. So they're playing an Asmore. Asmoranica Margadice and a Kulakar, or however you say it. Okay, well, this is an interesting matchup. Another. Ooh. Okay, so we're just turn 2ing people here, I suppose. That's fine, I guess. Didn't need it, but I'll take it. I don't even know if there's anything to play around from our opponent's 1 mana here. Gotta play the Dryad out for effect, you know? Can't not play it, right? Oh, I guess we could go for a Colossus here if we wanted to. We might go for, like, Titan into Colossus, potentially. How's it going, Foxery? Good to have you in the chat. Alright. So we can Titan, get Talari West, bounce land, have 2 floating, make 8, 9, 10. Transmute, play Colossus with 4 lands in hand. Or we could just play Titan here. And then make a second Titan and just kill him that way. Probably going for deterministic lethal is going to be the best option. We didn't actually need the Dryad in play here, so whether they killed the Dryad or not didn't actually matter. I guess we could go for infinite Dryads here, or could have gone for infinite Dryads. But no, let's go for Titan, I suppose. Even if they had, like, I don't know, one of those, like, 1 mana, discard a card, deal 5 damage, that doesn't kill Titan, so... I don't think there's anything they can do to stop us from mirror pooling Titan here. So let's do that. Just have to make sure we actually float a colorless with the mirror pool. As long as we do that, we're good. Let's go ahead and copy our Titan. Alright, and now we can haste off of, I guess, Valakut and Hanweir. Oh, well, Vesuva copy Hanweir. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, we can even Otawara to bounce one of our own Titans if we want to. Just to get some extra triggers. In case this wasn't already lethal enough. There's like a billion different ways to win the game here, I'm very certain, but let's choose the one that's easiest and just Valakut trigger our opponent to death. Well, actually, I guess we need to be careful. It is technically possible for them to kill our Dryad here. So we probably should, we already have a Valakut in place, so we probably should be getting, well, if we go for the Mycosynth into Oran Reef line, that doesn't necessarily kill our opponent either. 1, 2, 3, that would be 18, that would be 1 short. We could do Mycosynth and a land. And then I guess we can Otawara to bounce Grazer, perhaps, or something like that, if everything goes wrong. Just trying to think of ways that we can ensure that we win, even if they kill our Dryad. Get double Mycosynth, copy both amulets, get Oran Reef, something else. We'll have 5 lands in play. Then we can bounce Grazer and put in another land. I don't know if that does anything, though. Probably doesn't really matter. Let's see, I guess maybe Talari West and something else. I guess Boseiju. Why not? And here we will search for, I guess, Valakut Bounce Land. Oh, we don't need the Bounce Land. Oh no, we need a Bounce Land potentially to pick up Tolaria West. So let's, sure, why not? We'll just get some. Put the bounce on the stack first, so that all of our Valakut triggers will go through while we still have the required number of lands in play. We'll just save these targets upstairs. And then I'm assuming there's some cool stuff that we can do, assuming they kill our Dryad. Yeah. Didn't really matter. Alright, so against them... assume they play Sagas, so Force seems good. O-Stone is maybe actually good against them. Kills their entire setup if they start to get more things going. Force also kills Hollow One, which is important to note. I think O-Stone is probably okay. Also covers Blood Moon type effects. I don't think I care about their graveyard, like, at all. Zenith is not super great here. Dryad Arbor is not super great here either, because I can just kill it. Swordtooths do absolutely nothing, though. I think this is not a Nantuko combo matchup, so we can trim that. And the Swordtooths along with it. Maybe trim a Zenith. And a Pack, perhaps? Packs are bad against Blood Moon effects. I mean, it's important to have redundant threats, though. Trim a Grazer. Maybe we should be trimming more on Grazers, actually. Bring in the 4th Zenith, actually, instead. Or, actually not cut a Zenith. I used to live stream a lot on Twitch, but I don't actually make any revenue off of that, and a lot of people prefer to watch me on YouTube anyways, because there's a lot less intrusive ads, so... let's actually trim more Grazers and keep the, and bring in the Green Sun Zenith. I think Zenith is better than Grazer, probably. Don't think I like the rest of these, though. Alright, so for the YouTube folks, we're trimming these 6 and bringing in these 6. Did I forbid myself from playing Spelunking? Well, I wouldn't put it that way, no. I think that Spelunking is really good in the Analyst build, but in the traditional build, Spelunking is a lot worse. We're gonna mulligan this. Alright, we're gonna keep this. And I guess put back the Dryad Arbor, probably. I mean, we definitely want to hit our land drops, though. Maybe it's right to put back the 2nd Titan and keep the Dryad Arbor just because it is a land. We're gonna keep that. I'm just gonna hope that we draw more lands and put that back. Or another Amulet, actually. Or Mycosynth specifically. That would be a good land to draw. Tree Wraith. See if we get Thought Seized. We could get our turn 1 Amulet Thought Seized if they're playing black also. Saga, okay, so it's a good thing we brought in the Forces. And we have an extra green card to force if we need to. Miracle. That is the land, so I'll take it. Just have the classic turn 2 Dryad, turn 3 Titan kind of hand. Not a problem. Yes, so that's exactly how they're played in the Analyst version. The problem is that in this version, just having like redundant amulets doesn't do as much. Like with Dryad, you're able to like kind of naturally ramp to 6 mana for Titan, you know, because you're playing an additional land every turn, and you're also able to tempo your opponent out a bit more with like ground beats, whereas, you know, that kind of makes Spelunking look a little more anemic. Alright, let's play a Dryad, I suppose. It's just like the Spelunking doesn't contribute to any kind of tempo plan where we're just trying to get creatures on the ground. It's not even obvious in this type of build that Spelunking is better than like an Azusa, for example. We could Zenith for 1 here to get the Arbor. I just don't really see us wanting to do that. If our Dryad dies in the next turn, we can Zenith for another Dryad, I suppose. But yeah, in our list we have Mycosynth Gardens, 3 copies. I would like to play 4th, but we have up to 3 copies of Mycosynth that let us copy our amulets in the event that we need extra mana. I just feel like the redundant amulet effects aren't nearly as good in this version as they are in the Analyst, because in the Analyst, you just need a single amulet effect to kind of do Analyst loops, but in this version, you almost always have access to 1 amulet, and even if you don't, you can just ramp to Titan the hard way and still kill your opponent through Valakut, whereas without an amulet in the Analyst version, it's a little harder to kill your opponent, so I don't know, there's a toss-up. Grafdigger's Cage. Well, I guess we should have cast Green Sun Zenith. Whatever. That's good against specifically Green Sun Zenith, but it doesn't do anything against Summoner's Pact, and it doesn't stop us from getting lands either, so... We've got big constructs, but, I mean, we're probably about to just kill them with Valakut, so... They have 1 card in hand. I don't know for sure that they're dead. We'll go Vestige. Make it green. We'll go Bounce Land. Guess we'll just keep Bounce Land in hand as well. Play a Titan. So, I guess we just go Valakut Hanweir to haste. We have the Otawara in play, so we could potentially attack and bounce their construct. We go Vesuva copy, Crumbling, and Hanweir attack, get Valakut bounce land, pick up the Otawara, and bounce their creature, and we still get Valakut triggers that way. Let's just attack with our Titan. I think that's probably going to be a good idea. Copy the Vestige here. Definitely make a red off the Crumbling here, that's important. We can actually attack with both. We just need to not be dead to their construct this upcoming turn, which I don't think will be a problem. We can even kill the other construct, so this should be fine. Then we'll say yes. We get Valakut and a 2-mana producing land that will bounce our Otawara, such as a Simic Growth Chamber. And I guess we'll just kill the construct here. Well, the tapped one. And we'll kill it because we're going to pick up this Otawara here and then bounce the other construct before it can block. Goodbye. Back to you. Even if they were to kill our Dryad, we can still mirror pool our Titan to get 2 lands to be able to pay for Summoner's Pact, which we didn't even play a pact, so. But even if we had pacted, we could still copy our Titan to get the 2 lands that we need to be able to pay for the pact. Opponent says, Amulet of Vigor for sure should be in the format. For sure. Alright, well, I am going to take a quick break to use the bathroom and come back. Give me 1 moment. Alright, and I'm back, y'all. Let's jump in here for the next one. I may not play the whole league tonight, so just so you're aware, I may have to play the remainder of the matches tomorrow or something. But I did want to get on and stream a little bit. Let me do something real quick. I'm gonna hide the screen. Well, thank you for the follow/subscribe. We are currently 1-1. Had Steam up and it was slowing down my computer, so I need to turn that off. Get rid of this. All right, on the draw. Ooh, we got a turn 1 Saga map kind of hand. Well, I mean, this is going to be a turn 4 Titan with double Amulet, but, like, that's probably okay, right? Don't have a green source to play Grazer out if we were to draw it, which is sad. Can map for Bounce Land, though. I mean, I guess we're supposed to keep it. It's a weird hand. I don't know that it's always good enough, but we'll see. Against Shadowy Backstreet, I'm sure this hand is probably good enough. Against Orzhov Ketramos, probably. Boggart Trawler in the graveyard. I'm gonna be honest, I've barely been able to play in the last couple months at all. I played one league, which I recorded and put it on YouTube, and I'm playing now, so I don't know how the meta feels with BreachCon, because I don't think I even ever actually played against Breach, believe it or not. Alright, I guess we're gonna lead on Amulet here in case we were to draw the Bounce Land, so we could have the turn 3. We even have T-West in hand, so we can set up Cultivator, so we can play around Solitude. So, we're looking pretty good here. Good old Marsh Flats. And the upkeep here, never mind. Alright, well, I guess we're just playing another Saga here and playing map. To you. Next turn we can crack map for a Bounce Land, and any +1 ramp spell, so a Zenith or a Grazer would let us get to Titan. That would not give us quite enough mana to make a Cultivator Colossus happen, however. Felia, that's a good card. Very good dog. See if they have the Overlord or whatever. Then they can get back Boggart's Trawler to exile our graveyard. Ooh, they're splashing red, apparently, too. Interesting. I just realized I never actually posted anywhere that I was going live, so y'all are the real ones who just found me on YouTube because you were just watching, I guess. Flickering Amulet, okay. Sure, I guess. Maybe it's not a May, maybe they have to target something. Bounce Land. Ooh, Grazer! That does it, actually. So we'll float here. Yep, Grazer actually lets us get to Titan this turn, with 1 extra mana. Grazer might let us get to Colossus, I'm not sure, I'll have to do the math on it, but let's get a Titan into play at least. So we map for bounce land here. For example, one Simic Growth Chamber. We'll go Growth Chamber, Grazer, Growth Chamber again, Titan, leaving one floating. Then we can get double bounce land up to 9 to transmute down to 6. So we can get a double Titan here. We can't get a... And that would play around 1 Solitude. But we can't get Colossus into play just yet. I think going for double Titan is going to be the move. I only have 1 pack to pay for. It's only bad if they have exactly second... If they have, like, double Solitude in hand, then I guess we're kind of wrecked. Double Solitude and double white card, but I am not playing around that, so... Alright, so let's just make some mana. Did you find something good to watch, Fox3? I guess we'll just save the Saga at this point. Like Titan. So double bounce land puts us to 9 mana. We transmute T-West down to 6, play second Titan, then go to haste both. And we should be able to leave double green in play for our single pack. Even if they did double Solitude here, so there's that. Not a super common line that we're seeing here, but it does happen on occasion. So we go Simic, and I guess just Simic. This only ever happens if you have the T-West in hand, that you end up trying to set up exactly 9 mana like this. But you're seeing it here, folks. And so the way that we play around the possibility that our opponent has double Solitude here is we play Titan and we get Gruul Turf and Hanweir, so that we can haste both Titans and then leave exactly 4 mana to pay for pack in play. So we get a Summoner's Pact here, we pack for a Titan and play Titan. Yes, I do want to play that one. We get the Titan. We cast the Titan. Say yes, and here we get Gruul Turf Hanweir. That way we can guaranteedly pay for pack, no matter what happens, and we'll still be playing the game. Alright, step 1, haste Titan number 1. Or step like 5 million or something. I don't know how many steps in this is actually. We probably have actual lethal here if our opponent doesn't, like, remove one of our Titans or something, but... Scapeshift winning the game through Solitude. Well, we have a secret ace in the hole, which is our Cultivator Colossus. Cultivator Colossus also wins the game through Solitude, generally, so... Not gonna besage you anything here. See if they have a Solitude or 2. We might just be setting up double Saga if one of our Titans bites the dust here. There's the single Solitude. That's why you can't go for the Mirror Pool line, is they just will Solitude the one that you Mirror Pool. The question is, can they deal with this Titan also? Do they have Ephemerate, perhaps? They could have Ephemerate. Then Felia would be a potential problem. Right, let's see if the Solitude goes to the graveyard here. It doesn't. They do have the Ephemerate. That's not great news. Well, at least we're not dead. Yikes, okay. Well, I was talking about them having double Solitude, but for some reason I wasn't thinking about them having Solitude plus a flicker effect, but obviously that was possible too, so. But luckily we're going to have plenty enough mana that there are lots of draws that allow us to get to Colossus here, any of our Green Sun Zeniths or the Colossus itself. We just can't end up getting Colossus through T-West now. Goodbye, Arboreal Grazer. They did not want us blocking their Felia, I suppose. They're trying to whittle us down from 30 life points. I see. We can also just kill them through Dryad Colossus shenanigans. We technically have 4 copies of Colossus in the deck right now, not including the Summoner's Pack. So it's actually like 7 copies of Colossus. 1 Colossus, 3 Zeniths, 3 Pacts. So we're still sitting pretty here, as they would say. Let's not lose the game to Summoner's Pact, please. Say yes to that one. Oh, Dryad is not bad. We can't play that yet, but that means we probably want to go ahead and put Valcut into play. I guess we can play Saga, though, trying to get a 3rd Amulet in play for the... Actually, I guess we don't even technically want a 3rd Amulet in play if we draw Colossus, because that will be way too many triggers to put on the screen, but... We can just start trying to make some creatures here to get in the way. So wait until they attack and flicker something and then make the construct to block with it. We have lots of good draws. Witch Enchanter to kill, I guess, Saga? Or Amulet? I'm gonna go for Amulet. That makes some sense, I would say. We're unfortunately 1 land short of getting Dryad triggers. If we draw anything that lets us play another additional land, like a Swordtooth or a Grazer, or another Dryad, then we can kill the Solitude with the Valka trigger. Alright, so they're attacking, and... Oh man, the Witch Enchanter lets them blow up both of our amulets. That's really bad. Dang, I didn't realize that this Felia Witch Enchanter thing would be a problem, but obviously it is, so... Oops. I guess maybe for that reason we shouldn't have played out the Urza Saga, I don't know. I wasn't expecting the naturally drawn Witch Enchanter. I wonder how many copies they play. Anything that lets us kill something. That ain't it. That is not it. Okay. Well, I guess we're just playing out Valcut and passing. We might still lose this game. Remember when I said Felia is just a good dog? Very much the case. I guess if they attack with Solitude, nah. I mean, we're just gonna end up chump blocking with our token here, so. Catch Ramos, okay. Lets them draw some extra cards. We're still in this game, technically, but it's very much slipping away. Right. That makes sense. I guess we're just supposed to make a construct now. And I guess we'll go ahead and take our chump as well, since I think this construct is not likely to survive for very long anyways. Anything that lets us put an extra land into play will let us get at least 2 Valka triggers. Alright, that does it. And it makes us insulated against them having removal for a Dryad, so we need to play, I guess, an untapped land here, which I suppose will be the Mycosynth of the Gardens, I mean. And then we play a Dryad land, second Dryad, I guess. Make sure we get our extra land drop out of it. I guess we can play Hanweir now. And this guarantees that we'll get Valka triggers here. What is this? This is a 5/5. I think we do need to kill the Felia, though. So, always yes, always yield. Oh, that's right, there's 2 of them. Had to always yes both. That's alright. Okay. Well, the Felia is out of play, which gives us some amount of an advantage here. They could just have another Felia, I suppose, but... Sandbagging Amulets and Full Cutting Sagas. Oh my gosh, of course they have another Felia! Come on now. Okay. Interesting. I'm assuming they have things to remove Sagas post-board, like Wear and Tears or something? Does just having Witch Enchanter is not something that I would consider to be a reason to remove Sagas necessarily. But if they have, like, you know, disenchant effects, then maybe. I guess this Felia is not so bad, because they can only get rid of one of our Dryads, so they have to have a removal spell for the other. Which they could draw into, but we're still going to be able to keep their board relatively under control here. Presumably. And we could just draw a Colossus also. I mean, I think we're blocking. I don't really see why we wouldn't. This is basically just trading Felia for a Dryad, which is fine. Wrath the Skies, okay. They play White Orchid Phantom, really? Interesting. Against White Orchid Phantom, I don't think that I like cutting Sagas, but Wrath of the Skies makes sense. I don't know the card Pest Control, but I presume it's probably relatively cheap. A Flicker Wisp resets to 1 lore. That's fair, I suppose. Hey, there's the Zenith. Alright, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can just get a Colossus into play right this second. So let's do that. We were waiting for this draw. 7, perfect. Let's get back into this game, please. Cultivator Colossus, please. And thank you. Another Zenith is good. Grazer is horrible. Well, we didn't draw that many cards, but we drew 2 relevant cards instead of having lands in hand, so I'll take it. I guess we just pick up the Vesuva. Yeah. And I guess the Mycosynth, which we will play immediately. could have picked up the Sage and held on to it. Another Felia. Felia number 3, huh? Well, they can Flicker Solitude, I guess. Let us gain 8 life. We might have gotten out of the realm of danger in this game. We could probably Zenith for Dryad and then pack for Titan and maybe just kill them. Depends on what cards they have in hand, though, obviously. Another Ephemerate or Solitude would get rid of our Dryad and make that not really work. I think our best draw would probably be an Amulet. Yeah, let's get this Felia out of play, please. Don't like that continuing to happen. I have the Overlord now. Dude, these Felias are absolutely murdering us. They are really making us have a bad time. I mean, even against White Orchid Phantom, as long as you know that they can blow up your Saga with White Orchid Phantom, and you're playing accordingly, not just keeping hands that only care about Saga, then it's not like the worst thing in the world, you know? They did get Felia back, obviously. Goblin Bombardment. Interesting. Alright, so we are losing our Colossus. Wait, they draw a card when our Colossus gets exiled? Interesting. Huh. Well, we may not have a choice but to go straight for Dryad immediately and just hope that it works, because we need to get these value things out of play so they can't flicker them with Felia. Failing to find forest. Yeah, we play 3 forests. I have played against White Orchid Phantom before. I know that it gets annoying, but I do think that overloading them with Sagas and Amulets that they have to try to kill all of them is probably better than just cutting Saga entirely, just because they have that effect. The problem is, do we need to go for Dryads here? I don't even know if it would be good enough. I think we need to go for at least 1 Dryad. Force them to answer it now, and then have Titan get Talari West and something else. Let's Zenith for Dryad first, I guess. Well, and we may actually want to haste a Titan here if we get the chance. Ooh, infinite. Well, it's not infinite Dryads, but it is really good here. Packing for Nantuko. But then if they Solitude our Dryad immediately, like if they have the removal spell for Dryad, then our Nantuko falls off into a 1/1. So it's high risk, high reward for sure. I guess we should Pact now. Definitely making lots of Dryads would be good here, but the problem is that's just like very all in, whereas getting Titan to set up Talari West, assuming we have Talari West. No, we already used Talari West. Double Saga, I don't even know if that races this, to be honest. Maybe we should just go for Nantuko, to be honest. Maybe Nantuko is the only way to win this game, is just hope they don't have removal for the Dryad immediately. We know that one of their cards is Felia, so they only have 2 unknowns. They'd have to have exactly Ephemerate or a removal spell. I guess I'm going for Nantuko, I don't know. This is for you. This is for you, chat. Bestow that one. Alright, we'll play this. Okay. Okay, let's kill the Solitude first, I guess, because it gains them life. Always yes, always yield. I think it actually is working. Oh my gosh. Let's definitely make a copy of Dryad, please. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Don't mind if I do. We'll just make, I don't know, like 4 Dryads here or something. Good call, chat. Good call. We'll kill the Witch Enchanter also. We got to do the Springheart thing. That's not even technically infinite at this point. Oh, do they have a Fatal Push now? A little late for that. Okay. Okay. Oh, we can't make a copy anymore! That's very sad. Alright, well, let's pick up the Growth Chamber anyways. We'll play a Grazer. Have is indestructible, so put in Vesuva, copying, I guess, just nah, we'll just keep Bounce Land. And we'll send this Valcut upstairs. Yeah, it helped. Definitely helped. And we got some blockers for days here too, so that's nice. Can't attack or block, so I guess we can haste and attack with our Dryad here too. Is there anything with Flash we'd be attacking into? I can't think of anything. The Felia, which wouldn't actually kill the Dryad, would just kill the Felia, so I guess they could flicker the Overlord at instant speed or something, but if they had a flicker effect, I think they would have used it already when we bestowed the Springheart, so. Okay, we're doing something. There's the Felia that we already knew about. Emperor of Bones. We're gonna get another turn cycle with Dryad in play, it seems. Exile a card from a graveyard. When they adapt it. I don't know the exact text on adapt. I don't know if they can just do that immediately or if it has to be like when they're attacking with it or something. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Exile Witch Enchanter. I guess making it a copy of Witch Enchanter and then flickering it doesn't really do anything though because it just resets it, right? Oh, no, they put it on the battlefield. And then it would have to sacrifice it. So they can put this on the battlefield. If they can do this now, they can put it on the battlefield and then flicker it with Felia and be able to keep it around. Interesting. Well, we are probably still losing this game, though. Yeah, they can't adapt immediately, too. Very sad. Well, the Nantuko thing was really good, but I don't know that it was good enough. We'll still need to draw another Dryad or something. Wait, that's not even possible. This is the 4th... No, it's a copy. There is one more Dryad to find, or Summoner's Pact, or Green Sun Zenith. Not all is lost here. I still don't know that we can even grind through this, even if we found another Dryad. We basically just have to try to lethal them. Attacking with the Witch Enchanter is interesting. I guess it doesn't matter. We can trade with the Felia and get the Felia out of play, which I guess we need to do. For like the 15th time. Keep the Springheart around. Yeah. We are making them work for it. And in fact, they're like half the clock of us right now, so... If this is how it's going to go game 2, and possibly game 3, they might just time out, so... How many Felias do we have to freaking kill, man? Come on! I just need this to stay in the graveyard, please. Stop coming back. Does this just let them draw like a bazillion cards with Ketramos? No, it's one or more. Okay, well, let's exile Saga. It lets them draw a card a turn, it looks like. Very interesting. Okay, so now their Ketramos is unlocked as well. They pop Relic, which I think lets them draw one more card, okay. They're at 9, which is a very valid cuttable number. If they don't have a Solitude in hand right freaking now, and we draw a Dryad, we can go bounce land, then play Vesuva as a Valcut, and kill our opponent. Huh. They could have Ephemerate or another Solitude, but right now is the time to draw the Dryad that we need. Alright, let's not lose the game. See what we draw. Dryad. Dryad, please. Dryad. No, it's not a Dryad! I guess we're still playing a game. That was stupid to play this, because they might have another Felia. That's okay. No, I guess they probably don't have another Felia, because we saw like 3 of them exiled now. Not attacking with Grazer. Flicker the Witch Enchanter to then kill our Saga. Nice. They're probably going to time out. And also at 6. I mean, they get to attack with Ketramos, though. 1 second. Alright, so lots of things are happening, but nothing that really matters, so... Lots of drawing cards and our opponents being close to timing out. Still, a Dryad might just kill them at this point. Oh, they have a Solitude in hand. Well, that's unfortunate for us. Okay. Well, we probably most definitely can't win now, but we're going to make our opponent actually close this game out because of the time situation. Alright, just pass back. Interesting. Well, given they have Witch Enchanters and lots of ways to recur them, and the game is probably intended to go long, maybe we should be cutting Sagas? I think it's really important to have Amulets in play, though, if at all possible. And Sagas are one of the most reliable ways to do that if they don't just kill the Saga. And even if they White Orchid Phantom our Saga, they were going to hit a different land with that anyways. And if they don't Orchid it, then we get a Saga in play, which is obviously fantastic, so... Thoughtseize. We have lands. Alright, looks like they're swinging for what might be lethal. I don't even know if this is lethal, to be honest. It might be. I see 10, 14, 19, 21, 23. I think this is exactly lethal. Looks like it. Alright, we'll sideboard here real quick. Yeah, I mean, I think Reclaimer's probably good against them. Oh, O-Stone looks really good against them probably as well. Alright, so we definitely want the stones. I think we want Reclaimer and Zenith. And then Tracker is good for value purposes. Curator is good in terms of like trying to... Actually, I guess the Curator doesn't really do much against them. Bauble is good against recurring... the 0-drops as well. It's good against them recasting Ephemerate, and it's good against Solitude. Nantuko is probably just walking into Solitude Ephemerate in this matchup, to be honest, unfortunately, so we probably should be trimming it. And Swordtooth is obviously bad if we're doing that. Grazers are pretty awful. I think that about covers it. I don't think that we want to trim Saga in this matchup, to be honest. So we're trimming these 6 and bringing in these 6 for the YouTube folks. And we'll submit. We will be on the play. And we'll keep this one for sure. I'll sort it after we get some cards on the battlefield, because they're going to be out of our hand in a second anyways. Here goes an amulet and a pass. They have Prismatic Ending for the amulet, it looks like. They do. Maybe I should have held on to the amulet. I was too enticed by the possibility of a turn 2 Dryad. Zenith. Ooh, we can use that to get Reclaimer, so I guess we'll do that. I think I brought in Reclaimer. Let me double check. I'm always scared now, because sometimes I don't do the things that I think I will do, and then I get punished for it, so it looks like we're good. Elvish Reclaimer, please. Here we go. And again, we'll draw stop here, in case we need to upkeep, get a Saga, which we might very well want to do, so that we have to force them to have the White Orc Phantom immediately, or we get our amulet back. I'm not above that at all. Oh, they have to Solitude now. Pitching a Witch Enchanter, okay. I'm okay with this. And it just goes to the graveyard, even better. Another Dryad isn't fantastic, to be honest. I guess we should just be playing Dryad out, though, since we otherwise don't have green mana. Bounce Land probably would have been our best draw there. I will say, Redundant Dryad's looking pretty not great here. Splunking would have been better here. Most likely. Felia, okay. Just surveilling with a minute 30 on the clock. Land. Zenith. Don't know what that gets us, to be honest. I guess just a Dryad Arbor. I think I just want to hold it and potentially get a tracker with it. So let's just get another Dryad down while we definitively can. And I'm swinging in. See what they got on their turn here. 4 mana for Witch Enchanter. Okay. That's really, really bad for us. That's really bad for us. Guess we should have played O-Stone, huh? No, that wouldn't have mattered. Nothing would have been different. Well, we need to draw a green source so we can Zenith 4 Tracker, I guess. Yes, they are doing quite well, I will say. I mean, we can't really even do anything here. We could Zenith for 1. Get a Dryad Arbor? I guess we are supposed to get Dryad Arbor at this point. Gotta do that. Has to be done. White Orchid Phantom. Fine. Well, that makes the potential plan of trying to pack for a Tracker not so great. All of the cards in our hand are blank right now, thanks to Felia specifically. I guess Pyroclasm would have been better right now, although it still wouldn't have killed the Felia, so it wouldn't have really done much. Go ahead and get our second forest. Titan. Yeah, we're pretty close to casting that, you know. We get exactly 1 window to have 4 lands in play, so I think we're supposed to pack for Tracker immediately. And just hope they don't have another White Orchid Phantom. Oh, wait. They're on 2 seconds left. We should not do anything that would allow them to potentially win the game, so let's just pass the turn back. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't feel confident that we would have won that otherwise, but... Well, this is a good time to stop and say that the Analyst build probably would have been better in this matchup, so... But, unfortunately, I gotta call the stream here for now. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll finish off the games and end up posting the video to the channel at some point, so... Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'm going to stop streaming as well. Thank you guys for joining me.